Ugh, it is so snowy out. So yesterday I started clearing off the snow on the hoop house. I honestly couldn't get through that much because we didn't have a shovel. I actually don't know if we have a shovel today either, but basically I tried to push the snow off of it from the inside, which is what I can do when there's a lot less snow on it. Definitely my fault for not, keeping on top of it throughout the winter and getting it cleared off every time we have like a few inches of snow. It's definitely been pouring this year. We've had so much snow. I'm just worried that that thing is gonna break or rip, or that it's already broken or ripped. That snow is so heavy. I ended up climbing up like the side of the hoop house onto the snowbank just to try and like lift some of those big pieces off that I didn't seem to be able to push off. And it took a lot of effort. Like, that is really dense snow that's been packed in there. It's what, February, beginning of February right now. We've had snow since maybe October, the beginning of October. And we've had a lot of snow. Like, it's been really bad this year. I'm looking at things where we haven't knocked snow off of, and like from the window, and it's just like feet and feet of snow, and then it gets compressed by the weight of the snow on top of it, so on the bottom it's like really dense, and I was finding that to be the case as well on the hoop house. So it took a lot of effort. It was like ice blocks. It's seriously like there was an igloo that was like shaped around my hoop house. Anyways, it's not safe. It's not great. It would be so expensive to replace that greenhouse plastic. I got it from Johnny Seeds, and I'm hoping I don't have to do that. Brendan is thinking that we should just take off the cover in the fall, like after the first snow, or like when I'm done using the hoop house. But I don't know, I never want to be done using the hoop house, which is why I don't want to do it. My ideal would be we put 2 layers of that greenhouse plastic, and then I can put a heater inside, and hopefully that does well. I just didn't want to deal with it, to be honest. I really didn't want to deal with anything this winter, so I've been not on top of a lot of things, and now it's catching up to me. So yesterday I also filmed some more. I decided to press some of my Amaryllis flower blooms, and as well as my Paperwhite blooms, because I absolutely hate the smell of Paperwhites. So I just wanted to cut those off early before, the flowers even withered. I hated just like walking by it and smelling that disgusting smell. Like, I never grew daffodils or Paperwhites, so I didn't know that they smelled this bad, but it's literally like I would be walking by my kitchen and I thought for sure that I had left some food out somewhere for like months maybe, and it was starting to rot. So I kept like looking and looking before I realized it was actually the flowers. So I don't think it's worth it for me personally, because I just dislike that smell so much, to grow Paperwhites again. But for now, I want to see if I can use them dried. I mean, those flowers already bloomed. They look beautiful. They're so pretty. It's just that smell. Like, if it didn't have that smell, it would be an amazing indoor like bloom to have. So I ended up cutting some of those stems. And by the way, I did film it yesterday, but in all honesty, I looked like crap yesterday, so I don't want to include any of that footage. I mean, normally I really don't care, but I have to see myself editing. I have to, like, I don't know, watch myself, and it was just too bad. So you're welcome, I'm not using that footage. I've never pressed flowers or plants before. I know that people have specific like kits to do so. I don't know if they use any special paper for that, but to me it's really just paper and weight on top of that paper. You really just like want to make the blooms flat. So I just started to use some cardboard. I have a lot of cardboard just lying around the house. This is before we've gone recycling for the month. And I did try it with my first like stock of blooms of the Paperwhites, because again, I hate the smell of Paperwhites. I just wanted to get rid of it, and I wanted to trial it and see how it went. It went pretty well, to be honest. I think it looks so pretty. I think it wasn't flat enough, so some of the petals are very wrinkly. But I think it kind of looks nice that way as well. It has like an old antique-y look to it, which I think is super pretty, so I think it turned out well. And that's essentially what I'm gonna be doing again. These flowers are just so gorgeous. They're big and they're gorgeous. It's a shame that they only bloom once a year. And they do last for quite a while, but it's still like very fleeting. And I guess that's what makes it so special. So I think for this one that's a little bit more droopy, it's the older bloom, I'm gonna try and press it on its side and see how that goes. See if I can, you wanna kind of like have the petals open. Like if you think of what you're gonna see is either the side, what you're pressing down on this end or on the one on top. So I just wanna have it be, I'm just gonna press it and see, yeah. Let me try and get it in the corner so I have space to do some the other ones. Okay, I think this is how I'm gonna do it. Sorry if that you can't really even see what I'm doing. I just have the petals like on the bottom kind of flipped underneath a little bit. And I want to do these petals sticking up, and these, I don't know, maybe I'll keep them going towards the side. So I'm not going to do this right now, but it is going to be like pressed like this. So it's going to be two-dimensional like that. For this one, yeah, I might try and just like pull the petals out. To open it up a bit more. Yeah, I'll remove what's inside. Already you can see some of the pollen that came off of that onto the petals. And then this is how I imagine it will look pressed flat up. I am just gonna try keep it all intact, make sure everything, like there's a petal that's kind of bent. I guess that's okay. With like these petals that are curling up over the ends, I want to kind of straighten that up as much as possible. And then I'm gonna cut the end of this. What is it called? I don't know, I need a refresher on all the parts of a flower. So I want to keep it all intact. It's gonna be much easier to work with once it's dried if it's all in one piece, but I also want this to lay like as flat as it possibly can, both of these. This is just an old box of greenies, not affiliated, just have these around because of my dog. And then I'm just gonna press it like this just to make sure everything is flat and stays in place. I'm just gonna put this aside for now and then work on the Paperwhites. Okay, new cardboard box. I have these Paperwhites. Some of them are older than the others, so I don't know, I might pick and choose. This one has like already some of the petals are kind of withering, getting really flimsy. But this one looks really nice. This one, again, some of them are really flimsy and withering. So I might just cut those off. I'm actually just gonna make these a little shorter. And then some of these blooms that are off, I'm just gonna take the whole flower off with the little stem. And this looks to be fine. I might do this one on its side since there's so few petals. Yeah, so I'd like some of the flowers to be fully open, but then I do also want to kind of get other ones on top, just like folded for like a full side view. I think that would look good. It might not be the best to be like touching these with my hands, I think already with the older like petals, it just, I don't know, makes them a bit worse and weaker. Yeah, I'm wondering, should I just put one like straight up and down? Let me think about that for a second. And with this one, I think I'm just gonna do some individual flowers, since a lot of these are pretty old. Like, I'll just press that one down. Okay, I'm gonna take those 4 flowers from that stem. And people often press like leaves as well. I have a lot of leaves. Hold on. Okay, I cut off one big floppy leaf, and I think I'll just do the end of that. And now what do I do with this? You know, maybe I'll do the same thing. I'll do it on its side. I think that will end up looking a lot nicer. Well, I don't know, than a big clump. Yeah, because this is such like a weird shape. That's what I'll do. But I'm gonna cut off some of these flowers and just do them straight up and down, or straight facing down. This one's nice. I think I mean, it's obviously the freshest. It has some little unopened flower buds in there as well. So that might be interesting, pressed. Okay, this is what I'm ending up with. I hope it's showing up well on camera. I'm just gonna carefully, I don't know, try and make sure everything stays in place. Press it down on it a little bit. And make sure you're using clean paper. I hope this was clean enough for it to look good and for nothing to get on it. Just like a microwave dinner. You can tell it's very DIY what I'm doing. And then, let's see, I'm trying to think of what's some like heavy boxes that I have. Okay, I want to make sure the weight comes down on this pretty evenly. So I think heavy books is going to be how I go about this. It's only been a day since I pressed those flowers, but I did just want to take a peek and see how it's looking like. Okay, so I have them under here. This is my old one. Okay, a day in, it doesn't look bad. It is starting to wrinkle a lot. And what I'm thinking now is I totally should have done these like flat, these are like way more flat pieces on a different like piece of cardboard. Because these things, like these green little buds underneath the flowers, they're pretty thick. And I think that's not allowing like this to be perfectly flat, you know? It's taking up some vertical space and it's not allowing those flower petals to stay perfectly flat, and so that's why it's wrinkling. Here's the Amaryllis. I don't know how well this is gonna go. It looks like the petals honestly are starting to brown a little bit. I know the lighting isn't super, maybe not super great, but it does look like there are places where the petals are starting to brown. Hopefully it's not so bad. Oh gosh, I'm making it worse. Okay, I just won't touch it with my hands anymore. Maybe if I was gonna do Amaryllis at least again in the future, I would try and use like silica gel or something to preserve it. I'm just gonna go ahead and replace the weights. And this isn't the only weights that I have. I do put like a big plant on top of this with a big plant pot on top of this that's really heavy. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put that back. Anyway, it's not perfect, but it's going pretty well. I'm excited to see how they're gonna turn out. I would wait at least a week, and probably it's gonna be more than that. It's gonna be about 3 weeks or 2.5 weeks before I can check up on them again. I'm gonna be traveling to California for like 2 weeks. I'm gonna try and get a bunch more garden chores done today, but that's gonna be it for this video. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.